My brothers and sisters in Christ, today's gospel passage is one of the ones that was most transformed for me by visiting the Holy Land and going to the Sea of Galilee. The context that it provided for seeing the place of this encounter on the seashore. Of course, the Sea of Galilee is renowned for its fishing. We know also of its turbulent, its sudden changes in weather. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the area where this encounter takes place in today's gospel passage is an area that is just prime for fishing because of the way that some hot spring water empties into it. It's a place that fish are greatly attracted to. So to use a crude expression, as I would say, it's like fishing with dynamite. It's hard to find many places more easier to fish. But what is happening in this passage today? In the ambiguity, if you will, the uncertainty of the time post-resurrection, the disciples are kind of left wondering what to do. And it's very telling that Peter goes back to what he's most familiar with. And in a sense, this is another regression of his, and that he says, I'm going fishing. When Jesus called him, he called him away from the Sea of Galilee where he was a fisherman. And so now Peter, when unsure what to do, goes back to what he used to do. Let's go fishing. And so Jesus reveals himself there. And of course, even though the passage cuts off today, this is the place where Peter will be reconciled to Jesus. But for the part we hear today, they're fishing. So Peter goes to what he knows, but he fails. They're not catching anything. This should be almost impossible. They're in prime fishing zone, and Peter is a professional fisherman, but he can't catch anything until Jesus appears and gives him the indication when he says, try over there. Jesus is revealing to Peter that Peter can do nothing without him. And that is the lesson for us as well. Sometimes we want to fall back on our own skills, our talents, our interests, but these are, while important to us, only have meaning in the light of the will of God, of being disciples of His. God has given us many things. He's given us skills and talents that we're asked to put to use in His name in accordance with His will. When we do so, God is powerful in us. God accomplishes that which He wills. But when we try just to do our own thing, we will often end up frustrated, sad, and not because we're incapable, but because, in a sense, we're going against the tide. We're not operating in the flow of God's will. But in Christ, all things are possible. And so, today's passage and the lesson of Peter, his failed fishing attempt, and then his overabundant catch, leading to his great reconciliation with Jesus, may it remind us to seek first the will of God in all things, and then to trust that God will give us all we need to accomplish it. May God bless you all.